Hello and welcome to episode 39 of my knitting podcast. I'm so happy to be back. I just checked how long it has been since I have recorded my last episode, my proper last episode, and that was in the end of September. So it's been a while. Today is November the 29th of November. There we go. And it's already in the afternoon. It's about quarter or 20 past 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's already getting dark in the background. The sun is like going down, so I have to rely on artificial lighting. I hope it is okay. It's a little bit cold, I know, but yeah, it's the only way to film during the winter months here. It's getting really dark here in Iceland, and yeah, that's what I have to deal with, unfortunately. Nevertheless, I hope you're going to enjoy this normal podcast. I know that there have been a little bit of different podcasts in the last couple of weeks. So I recently uploaded a vlog from Barcelona Knits, where I went to with Naomi, Kiliana and Lily, and we also met Kelly and Hannah and Red off so many other people. So I have uploaded that episode I think about 2 weeks ago. That's how the plan should be. And then I had another episode where I had like a chatty episode with Lily, where I showed a few things that we bought in Rhinebeck. And unfortunately, I realized when I was editing the episode that it's first of all pretty dark because we filmed it in the evening in my living room, and it's not the best quality. However, I thought I was still gonna upload it, just because I thought it would be fun to have a little bit of a different kind of vibe. I hope you enjoyed that. I know that's not my typical style, so I'm back with just a normal podcast, and I hope you are happy about that and you're gonna enjoy that as much as the last 2 episodes. Alright, so if you have never been here before, maybe you have just recently joined. So my name is Anastasia. I'm a knitter based in Iceland. I live here and I work here. However, I am originally from Germany, so I have only moved here back to Iceland about 2 years ago. And I have been living here prior as well, so yeah, I have been living here for about 4.5 years or something. And so I do knit a lot with Icelandic yarn, but also with just with any kind of yarn. So if you're here for the Icelandic knitting, there's always a little bit of it in it. I think like I always try to knit a little bit with Letlopi or Plötulopi or something, but I also knit a lot with like international yarn. And because I travel a lot for my job, I do buy a lot of international yarn, and so I try to like get the best bits from Europe and from America, and I hope that kind of shows in my knitting that I quite like the variety of different kind of yarns, and so that's my little introduction if you're new here. Alright, so today I do have a lot of finished objects because I realized that I haven't shown you quite a bit of my finished objects over the last months. I thought I didn't knit that much, but to be fair, now that I have made a list, I realize, oh wow, there is a lot. So I do have about 5 finished objects. I'm working on 3 projects at the moment. I just signed up for another test knit yesterday night. So yeah, there's a lot of little things going on, and I'm just gonna start with my first finished object. That's the one that I'm wearing. So I was one of Rebecca Claw's test knitters for the stick season sweater, and here it is. in all its glory. You can see the nice little rib detail here in the front and the back. So it's showing up quite nicely. I made this one out of the Explorer Knits Earthy Decay. So I bought this yarn in a Leave No Trace collection. I don't know if you're familiar with Explorer Knits. They're it's like a hand dyed yarn company. There we go, from the States, and their shop updates always sell out super quickly, and it's really hard to get hold of their yarn. And so this yarn I bought in a Leave No Trace collection, which means that like when they start with a new colorway, or when they're generally dyeing up some yarn, if the yarn doesn't quite pass the quality check, then you can buy it later on like a Leave No Trace collection, where you just say you can like say what kind of yarn, like what kind of color theme you would like to get, but it's kind of like a surprise. You basically, the only thing that you get to choose is the base of the yarn. And I chose Earthy Decay because I wanted to try their non-superwash DK weight yarn, and so this is the Earthy Decay. I don't quite know which colorway it is. I think it might be Chinley, but I'm not too sure. So if you know which kind of color this could be, let me know. I do love the color. I would have probably not picked it myself if I would have like gone to a shop or something. But I do love the color. I think it complements my like eyes and my hair quite well. And so this is made out of just under 4 skeins of Earthy Decay. I was a bit worried that I was going to play yarn chicken, so I was like weighing my sleeves and seeing how much I could knit. I think that's what I did. I knit my sleeves first, and then I finished the body later on to see if I had enough yarn. I did have to alternate skeins. I know that, for example, Rebecca, so she's the designer, she goes under the handle the Freya Bear. She didn't alternate skeins, and you can definitely get away with it. So her yarn was pretty perfect, I would say. However, because I bought mine in a Leave No Trace collection, I kind of didn't know whether my yarn would be too, like, it was a tonal yarn, but I didn't know whether it would be good enough to just knit plain. So I'm actually quite happy that I knitted, like that I alternate skeins. I think I didn't alternate the skeins so much up here, but later on I did, and I'm gonna stand up and show you a little bit where, oh yeah, the candles are not behind me, there we go. So you can see that there's a little bit of pooling, and I think if I wouldn't have alternated skein, I would have probably ended up with some pools like a little bit more concentrated. So I'm quite happy that I alternated skein. I did this well, the same on the sleeves. And I have to say, in the camera, it is more dramatic. Like the speckles are more dramatic than in real life. In real life, you don't see them that much, and they definitely don't bother me. Like, I think it looks actually quite nice. Overall, I've had lots of compliments on this sweater. It absolutely looks like a store-bought sweater, I would say. The stitch definition is really nice. I hope it comes across like that on the viewfinder. I'm trying to see. I think it shows quite well. The yarn is like super shiny and super comfortable to wear. It's like super soft. The only thing, it does pill a fair bit. I don't know if you can see it. So I will have to depill this one very soon. So I'll do that probably after filming a podcast. I should have done it before, but I was kind of rushing because the sun is getting setting now, so I couldn't delay filming the podcast any longer. So really happy with this one. This is size number 2. So I was kind of between sizes, and because I didn't have that much yarn, I went for the smaller size number 2, and I'm really happy. So it does have a little bit of positive ease, but not too much. But you could definitely knit also the bigger size and just have a little bit of a more boxier fit. But super happy how it came out. I love the 2x2 rib details. They look very nice. I opted, so you have the option of folding down the neckline. Because I was like playing yarn chicken, I didn't knit the neckband too long. I still have some yarn left, so I could do that if I wanted to. But actually, I do like the neckline like that. I could still like sew it down if I wanted to. I could make it longer, but I have to say that I quite like this style of neck. And because I don't have that many sweaters, or actually I don't have any other sweater that has this neckline, I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. So yeah, this is my stick season sweater. A bit late to show it to you, sorry. I know it has been released probably like a month ago. I think mid-November maybe, or beginning of November. But yeah, didn't have time to show it before in a proper podcast. So I'm happy to show it now. I did meet Rebecca at Rhinebeck, so we took a little picture. I'll insert it somewhere here, so you can have a look at us wearing the stick season sweater together, which is really nice as well. So yeah, can totally recommend. The pattern is super easy to knit if you're like a kind of adventurous beginner. I would say it's totally doable, and it's nice that it has a little pattern up here, so it makes it a super quick and interesting knit. The next finished object is one that I can't show you in person because it's already at the recipient, or maybe not quite, but they will receive it very soon. So it is the Augustins, so Mini Augustins #1. This is a pattern by Anne-Sophie Velling. A lovely little baby blanket. I'm sure you have seen that before. I know Inga from Knitting Traditions has knit this as well. And I knit that out of Istek's Einband, which is like a lace weight Icelandic yarn. I did hold it double, and I used a bit of a bigger needle size. I really didn't check whether I was getting gauge or not. I just had some Einband at home and I wanted to use it up, and I thought that would be a really nice like kind of heirloom kind of knit. It's a beautiful lace weight baby blanket that is knit from the center, and then you're basically increasing the pattern from the center. You're going in bigger and bigger circles, and the pattern is really, really beautiful. The lace looks very complicated, but to be honest, it's much easier to knit than you would think. It's super interesting to knit, but it's at the same time not so overwhelming. The lace is pretty easy to follow. I would say you could definitely just yeah, knit it and watch TV or something. You don't really have to take that much care because the lace is pretty easy. So if you're worried about it being too complicated, I would say you don't have to be worried at all. I am super lovely to knit, super interesting, and it does make a good gift, I think. Like, it looks super impressive, even though it doesn't take that much work, I would say. I used 4.5mm needles, and as I don't know if I said before, but I held the yarn double just to make it grow a little bit quicker. It is quite scratchy, so it's probably not like a baby blanket that you would put straight on like the baby's skin, but I think it's a lovely blanket that you could just like put over the stroller or something, or like over the bedding, just like as an extra thin warm layer. And it will definitely be something that people also can just like put on the couch or something. Okay, I got interrupted. Apologies. So I don't know where I left. I think I was just finishing talking about the Mini Augustins. Yeah, one thing I forgot to say about it, it's like if you block the Mini Augustins, like that's like the most satisfying thing, because it has so much lace, it kind of looks like Lily said it, like it looks like a little bit like an egg curtain, like it's all like really out of form. But when you wet it, and then like I completely wet blocked it and like really aggressively blocked it on blocking mats, and it looked so nice. So I can totally recommend that you take the time to really like block and pin out the picot edge on the, I think it's like a picot edge, is it? It's like a really lacy edge on the sides, and it really makes sense to take the time and do it properly, because it has a massive effect on the finished object. So that was the second finished object. The third one is a test knit that I showed you last time, kind of in progress, I believe. It's a very simple knit. It's the Autumn Tales Shawl. There we go. It's the Autumn Tales Shawl by Ozetta. It's a very simple, big kind of, it's like, I would say it's like in between a shawl and a scarf. So it's not super deep. Oh, there we go. It's not super deep. It's quite long, and it has this beautiful edge. I don't know if you can see it that well. It didn't came out that dramatic on my sample, because I think I didn't use a big enough crochet hook. I could have worked it a little bit like looser with a bigger crochet hook, and I think it would have had a bigger like effect, but I like the final edging that you put onto the shawl, and it's just like a really warm, nice layer that I love to wear. Like I have like a camel coat, camel colored coat, and I love to just like put it over. It looks super nice, and I love the color. This is a dark amber heather in Plötulopi. I think I held it single, if I remember rightly. I think I held it single. I used 4.5mm needles, and again I blocked that one quite extensively, and it did have a really nice effect, because the garter really opens up when you block it. So I can totally recommend blocking this one as well. I'm a big fan of wet blocking and pinning. I do that with most of my knits, I would say. I think it's always worth doing it to get a nicer final result. So really happy with this one. This one used about a little bit more than 1.5 plates of Plötulopi, and I believe if you make that maybe out of what is it called, Manchelopi, it's a little bit softer, or maybe Nutiden would be really nice as well. You could very easily just hold it with a strand of mohair if you're a little bit worried about knitting just with one strand of unplied yarn. What's it called? Unspun yarn, there we go. That's the way to say it. So if you are a little bit unsure, definitely just use maybe 2 strands if you want a bit of a bigger shawl, or use use a strand of mohair or Surya Paka, something thin to hold with it, to make it easier to knit. And I mean, with a shawl it doesn't really matter if you get gauge or not. If it comes out just a little bit bigger, I don't think it's gonna be a big of a game changer. So there you go. Really like this one, love the color, dark amber heather in Plötulopi, and it's the Autumn Tales Shawl by Ozetta. I have another finished object. It is hanging here. Maybe you've noticed before there was another cardigan hanging here just at the beginning of the episode, and then I changed it. So this is the beautiful Hopelessly Devoted cardigan by Lily Kate makes, or Lily Kate France, if you so will. I knit this one, so Lily came to visit me in Iceland, and then we went together to Rhinebeck together, and she was wearing this sweater in like cream white. She designed the sweater some years ago and then kind of re-knit another sample in like a plain fluffy white. And I really liked the sweater, or the cardigan. It looked so nice and classy on her, so I thought I wanted to make one as well. So I went and bought the same yarn. It's Drops Melody, super affordable yarn, and this rose, I think it's called, oh, they don't come with names, but it's number 23. It's called something like Rosewood or something like that. So I bought this yarn here in Iceland. I bought 4 skeins initially, but then ended up having to buy one last skein to finish it, just because I used a little bit of bigger needles than she did. And I love the result. I have worn this one loads. It wears up okay. I would say the yarn could probably do with a wash. I took this one to Barcelona, wore this one at Barcelona Knits, and it's kind of not looking its best now. So I could probably do just with a quick wash, but I love the result. And when after Barcelona Knits, I quickly stopped in Germany to visit my family, and they got all very excited about this cardigan. So I had the idea to ask them which color they would like, because first of all, it knits up so fast. So I thought, okay, this is actually something that I could knit for all of them. Second, I thought it would be quite sweet if we all have the kind of same cardigan in different colors. And so I bought some more yarn for that. I show you the yarn options that I went for. I asked them, most of them, they were there. So we're, how many women are we in the family? I've got 2 sisters. We're 5 women in a close family. So I bought 5 sweater quantities of Drops Melody. I bought another one in this rose, I think it's Rosewood or something. Then I bought one, this one is kind of like a brick orange. This is for my mom. For one of my sisters, I went for this one. I think it's color number 2. It's like a light blue. Then I have sorry, that one was, I can't remember quite for who was one. This one is like a light green. That was also for one of my sisters. Oh, there was another sister. I got mixed up there. They're not all for my sisters. But this one is a light white one, like an off-white, color number 24. It seems to be like a newer color that I got here. It's called Marzipan, I believe. Really lovely. It's not quite the white, it's like a lovely off-white. So I bought these 5 quantities now, and I'm excited to knit them up over the next few months. I have no time pressure. I can totally just make it as I want, and I'm excited to have these here, and I'm excited for them to see the finished sweaters or cardigans. My niece already apparently said, oh, I hope it's ready in like a month. So yeah, she will have to wait a little while, just because, yeah, I can't knit that quick, and I do have to knit a few other things as well. So it will be a little while, but I know that I can knit like one cardigan if I put my mind to it in about like a week, just because you use 6.5mm needles, so it makes a big difference. This yarn is really just knits up so quick. So that was my hopelessly devoted cardigan, and already a little bit of my knitting plans. The next and last finished object for this episode is a little small one. It is a dog sweater. There we go. So this is the pattern Voff by Védis Jónsdottir. Again, this is out of my book Knitting with Icelandic Wool. Do I have it here? I have it here. I can get it for you. Oh. There we go. So out of this book, I can totally, if you're into knitting with Icelandic yarn, I can totally recommend you getting this one, just because there are so many patterns in here and they are so easy to follow. They're mostly like there's like a big variety of patterns. Like you get 65 patterns in this book, and there's loads of like adult cardigans, sweaters, there's cardigans and sweaters for children, there are accessories in here, and there's this pattern here. So without giving away too much, I knit this one Voff, and I believe I knit the second size medium. I do hope that it is big enough. I'm not too sure. The little dog is like I can't remember what the name of it is. It's like a medium-sized dog, and I just hope it's not too small. I will give it a good block, and then it should be okay. It's more like a Christmassy themed little thing, but it's so cute. It came up so nicely. I haven't blocked it yet, so that is still to come. But the color work came out quite nicely. There we go, 2 little legs. And that is my last finished object. I made this one out of a lead Lopi, held single, and I used 3 colors. Can't remember the color names, but you will be able to find them on my Ravelry page. And as soon as I give it to the recipient, I hope I can get a nice little picture with the dog. The dog is super cute. It's a nice little, small little puppy. So I'm excited to give this one away. So that was a Voff from Védis Jónsdottir. Off to my works in progress. I have a total of 3 works in progress. And so the first one that I'm making is one that you have already seen as a finished object in my episode. It is the Calm Down cardigan by Lily Kate. So I am making a second one, and it's a little bit boring. I'm making a second one exactly like I did the first one. So it is the Calm Down cardigan by Lily Kate France. I have just started the ribbing on the bottom. It looks a little bit weird now, I'll be honest, because it's obviously not blocked and yeah, not finished at all. The armholes look immense. But I'm gonna show you my one that I have finished before. So that's the one that I have made maybe half a year ago. It's a lovely cozy cardigan that I wear all the time. You probably have seen it in my last episode when Lily was here. And so you've seen it in real life. I realized afterwards that when we were sitting together, it had like a massive stain on the button band, and I can't unsee it, but yeah, I had to just upload the episode like it was, because she wasn't here anymore to film another one. So here it is. I just put it over the other one. There we go. It is so lovely. So I made this one out of Loch Lomond by Bitsy, and the yarn is just the softest. Okay, everything is coming apart here, sorry. The yarn is just the softest. It's so nice to wear. It is so nice and warm, but still airy. I like that you can see the stitch definition quite well still, so you can see the little details here or along the arm here. And then I love the double knit bottom band. Even though it does take a long time to knit, it is super beautiful, and the buttons are just the nicest. These buttons are from a Tangled Yarn in the UK. So that's a yarn shop close to Manchester, and you can order online there, and they just have the best customer service. So I always order my yarn there if I can. So if they have the yarn that I want, I definitely order it there and have it delivered to some family in England, or some friends if they come to visit, and then I just get it once they come here, or once I get to the UK. So that's my first work in progress. I do have to finish this sweater or this cardigan by December 12th, so I'm kind of a little bit on a timeline, but I think I can knit like each sleeve in a day, so that's 4 days. I will finish the bottom band, or the ribbing, I'll finish that tonight, so that's the 5th day, and then I have like 2 days or so to do the bottom band. So lots of time, really. It's about 7 days, and then I still, like today, December hasn't even started, so I'm fine. I'll be fine. I'll try to finish it before, so I can just like have it ready, because it is for my sister. She's coming to visit me, and I gave it to her for her birthday in September. I kind of just said, okay, you're gonna get the same cardigan because you like mine so much. Just be patient. And then I went to visit her the other day, and she was like, oh, so I'm wearing a nice top, so I'm ready to wear my cardigan. I was like, oh god, I haven't even started yet, so yeah, shame on me. So I said, okay, that's gonna be my next priority. I'm gonna finish this one because I have to. I like it. I can't just give something as a present and then not knit it. So I'm gonna have that ready once she comes over. The next work in progress is my MKAL from this year. I'm gonna go and grab it. Another thing that I forgot to bring. So here we are. This is my take on clue number 1. It is so lovely. I love the first clue, how it came out. So I made a modification. I know you probably know there's there was a lot of talk about the first clue. So I decided to go with, I'll put the name here because I can't quite remember their Instagram handle, but it was not from Stephen, but from some of his test knitters, their take on clue number 1. So I finished this one. I think I have a few stitches too little, so I'll have to figure out how many stitches I have, and then I might have to like just wing it a little bit to start the second clue, and I'm just gonna continue the sweater completely as he designed it. I don't think I'm gonna make many modifications, but totally in the spirit of the MKAL, I'm going with my own pace. So I don't have any stress. Initially I really wanted to knit it in the pace, or like finish it in the first 4 weeks, but then I had so many other projects I wanted to knit on, and I had the stick season sweater that I wanted to finish for Rhinebeck, and then I had the Hopelessly Devoted cardigan that I wanted to finish for Barcelona Knits. So yeah, I just prioritized these projects, and then I'm gonna just finish this sweater or this shawl sometime in the future. I'm using some lovely merino fingering, and this is some hand-dyed yarn by Vatnes Yarn. She's an Icelandic hand dyer, and I used some colors that I think work really well with like my coats. Again, I like to wear like a camel colored coat, and I also have a lovely Barber jacket for autumn. So these colors are just so beautiful. This is non-superwash merino. It's super soft though, and yeah, the colors are totally my thing. I can't remember the names by heart, but you can go to my Ravelry page and have a look. And her colors are beautiful. So there are some yarn shops here that carry her yarn. So if you're visiting Iceland, she dyes a lot of different bases, and it's definitely accessible. if you want to know where to find it, you can always just maybe message me, and then I'll give you some hints or tell you where you can find them here in a yarn shop. So that's my second work in progress, and I have one last one. The last one is in a beautiful project bag that I didn't show you in my Barcelona vlog, but it is the most beautiful little project bag by Coco Knits. She's a knitter from Belgium, and she doesn't sell them. She just made us some because we were all meeting together, and she was so cute and made us this beautiful project bag. So I got this one of her. If you probably know her because she's quite popular on Instagram, but Kelly is just she's got the nicest taste for yarn and color combination, and so every time she test knits a fair bit, I think, and every time she test knits something for a designer, I always find like her version is usually better than the designer's version. I know I've said that before on a vlog, but yeah, it's totally true. So she made us this lovely little project bag out of some, she said it was just some leftover yarn, fabric that she had at home, and some leather details. And it's so cute, so I've been using it straight away, and I have started this shawl. So I have this thing going on where I always make at least one hand knit item for my boyfriend's birthday at the end of December. So this year he once again asked for a shawl, so I'm knitting the Botanic shawl by Stephen West. There we go. It's already quite big, but it needs to grow a lot more. So I think there's a total of 18 repeats of this here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just another 10 repeats. But obviously it's growing now, so it will become longer to knit. I kind of have to like continue knitting this one whilst I'm knitting all the other things, because I want to have that ready just before Christmas so I can give it a good wet block and have it ready for his birthday. So I'm using some Shawl as the contrasting yarn. This is edition number 3, which is I think like a sport weight kind of yarn, in the colorway Wärmebild. And then the main yarn is called Simply Camel, I believe, by Pearl Soho. Is that right? Yes. Sorry. My notes fell on the ground, and so I decided to just say it from there. So Simply Camel by Pearl Soho. It's the softest yarn. I'm excited to have something a bit special in this shawl. And I think it's looking already amazing. I love, love, love the texture. It's like a mix between garter and stockinette, and it's so soft already. And I think the yarn is even like gonna bloom a little bit when I wet block it. And so I'm excited for it, and it has a lovely drape already. So that wet blocked will be amazing. So that is my last work in progress. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I have just signed up for another test knit that is due on December 7th. So once I've finished filming, and once I've kind of got rid of this mess, because it's looking absolutely ridiculous in this room here. Once I've kind of cleared up the room, then I'm gonna quickly have a look through my yarn stash. I have a pretty good idea what I'm going to use for the test knit that I'm making, or that I'm participating at. It's a test knit for a baby bonnet, and because I have somebody in the close circle that is having a baby anytime soon, I will make a nice little bonnet as another gift. That's me finished talking about works in progress and finished objects, but I wanted to show 2 more things a little bit closer from my Barcelona Knits festival, or yeah, my little getaway that I had with some friends. So yeah, I have uploaded the vlog as I mentioned earlier, but I also met some lovely podcasters that I'm in like a chat group in. So we chat regularly and just catch up, and usually it's more talking about life than knitting. And they're really lovely ladies, and 2 of them surprised me with some lovely gifts that I absolutely didn't expect. I was so happy. So the first gift that I got was some lovely socks by Annina. She made me these absolutely stunning hand knit socks in some yarn that she even dyed herself. I forgot to mention that last time, and I'm so impressed. Oh my god. So I'm so thankful, Annina. You know how thankful I am. I have told her many times, and I think she could tell by my reaction when she gave them to me that I was so happy. So I'm keeping them nice. And well, they're gonna go into my sock drawer soon, but I just love how they look. They are my first like just normal stockinette socks. I've never had some before, and I think I'm gonna make some myself. I have some self-striping yarn, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna count I'm gonna count her stitch count, and then I'm gonna knit some for myself as well, and just do it very similar to her, because so far I've always just done like ribbed sock or something for me, but they look so nice that I kind of want to just make some plain socks for me and see how fast I can knit them, to see maybe if this could become my new like go-to knitting project when I'm on the go. The next lovely gift that I got is some hand-dyed yarn by lovely Camilla from Camilla Knits. She surprised me with the cutest little sock set. So she's from Denmark, a hand dyer in Denmark. This is her merino sock base. It's 80% merino, 20% nylon. High twists, which I love. And this is her the Robin set. So in 2023 she did some Birds Club, I think it was called the Bird Club or so, and so she was making, every month she came up with a colorway inspired by a bird. This one is the robin, and oh, I do love robins. I kind of like, it reminds me of my time living in England for some reason. It's like kind of my living in England bird. And I love the color, is absolutely stunning, and I have an idea what I'm gonna knit out of it. I'm not gonna say too much yet because I know I always have that many ideas. There are going to be some socks for sure, and I think, yeah, once I'm kind of like done with my New Year's knitting, I'm gonna cast them on and make something out of them. Some socks for myself, since it's a present for me, so I feel like I should make something for myself. I have 2 more things that I wanted to show you before I let you go. There are 2 acquisitions, and I'm only showing them because in my last episode or my last podcast you couldn't really quite see them because it was too dark. So first of all, my Barcelona Knits acquisitions. The blue Manchalope that I got is here. And actually in this light, it looks quite like light blue. However, in different light, it looks more gray with some purple undertone, I would say. But this is the Manchalope I got. And I have to say, it is much softer than Plötulope. So maybe I will start knitting more with Manchalope. I will have a look how I like it. It is really, really soft compared to Plötulope. So I'm really excited to see how this knits up. I'm gonna make the MKAL's shirt, I think that's what it's called, by Ozetta. So I have that pattern in my library. I'm gonna make that one. And then the other 2 yarns that I got is the Mota by Wool Dreamers. And here you can see the colors that I went for. I love the colors. It's like a very light beige, kind of with a tiny bit of an undertone, rosé tone undertone. It's color number 801 and color 840G. And this is going to be the Mudo sweater from Petite Knit. And then I have one more acquisition from Rheinberg, and that is the Odang Suri alpaca by the Farmer Daughter Fibers. And I have 3 skeins of that, so I'm gonna try to find a nice sweater for that. If you have a good idea, just let me know what I could make out of this one. Yeah, I want to make something special out of it, so if you have a good idea, just let me know. So these were all my works in progress, my finished objects, and all the acquisitions that I have made, which is an absolute lie because I bought more yarn in the meantime, but these are like the biggest ones, and I'm done with buying yarn for the moment. I have so much yarn here, and I really want to I have projects for a lot of sweater quantities, so I kind of have to stick with my projects because I'm being sidetracked a lot of times, and I feel like I should be doing better with using up my stash yarn. So this is gonna be kind of my thing for the next year, to just knit projects out of my stash yarn. This year has been heavy in purchase, but also at the same time the things that I've added to my stash have been mostly with a very specific project in mind. However, now I feel like it's enough. I'm always so happy when I find a project that really uses up a full sweater quantity, or I'm using things that have been in my stash for a long time. For example, the Augustins #1 was perfect for some einband, and I have some other yarn here that I will use to make some other baby blankets, because there are more babies coming into my close family friends circle. So I know that I have some lovely yarn here to make more baby blankets, and yeah. This is certainly not the last podcast for 2023. I think I'm going to try to take maybe 2 or 3 more. No, maybe not 2, but maybe. So this will come up in a week, and then I will probably film 1 more, I would say. Life-wise, it has been busy, but at the same time also quite relaxing over the last months. I had winter holidays in November, which was so nice. I had almost the whole November off. My boyfriend and I, we went to England, and we spent some time in the lakes, which was so nice and relaxing. We had a lovely time there. Really just spend the days going for a walk and then ending up in a pub and having nice dinner, and absolutely loved it. And then I went to Barcelona with my friends, my knitting friends, and I met so many lovely people, which was really exciting. And then I went to Germany for a few days to see my family there, so that was really nice as well. When I came back, I started my exam period. I have to take 4 exams because I'm studying Icelandic in university, so I have done my first one, which went okay-ish, I would say. I'm not really after certain marks. I'm doing this kind of for fun, so it doesn't matter whether I get good marks. I'm just trying to learn Icelandic basically, and it was, I would probably say, enough to pass. Let's see. And I have another exam tomorrow, so I have to have a quick look what I can expect for tomorrow. And then I have 2 more, and then I'm done with the semester, and I'm really happy when I'm done. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a lot studying and working full-time. That was kind of, yeah, enough for this year. So I'm looking forward to a little bit more relaxed December. and then it's already January and I have lots of travel plans over the next year, so exciting things coming up, but at the same time I'm just trying to take it easy from now and enjoy the winter. And yeah, like yesterday we just had an afternoon, we made some sausage rolls, just like some kind of more like English kind of winter tradition. So we're trying to do nice things in the evenings and get cozy and embrace a little bit of the slower pace than in the summer months. Alright, I'm gonna leave you there. I think I've talked enough. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know if you have any ideas what I could knit out of the farmer daughter's alpaca, Suri alpaca. I'm excited to see your recommendations. So I hope to see you in a week or so. I hope you're enjoying the winter time wherever you are, or maybe you are also already like getting into high summer if you're on the southern hemisphere. So have a good time, keep on knitting, and I see you very soon. Bye bye.